Hi, happy Sunday, and welcome to Far From Eden. I am so happy that I've recently found this gentleman. A video came across my feed, and I had no idea. I didn't know that a lot of you guys followed him. I didn't know it popped up on my feed. You guys know how sometimes that happens. But the title of it, I could not resist. And it was about men. And it was about what you all are about. And I thought this is an opportunity for me to learn more about men. And I thought, well, what better? Maybe I should just make a video of it. You know, I'm glad I did. The man is Bjorn Andreas Bull Hansen, and he is from Norway. He is just a treasure, and he made a video. I saw it yesterday. I didn't see the video yesterday. I saw that he had made the video yesterday. It is entitled Why Men Stop Sharing Their Feelings. And I will say over and over again, a huge problem is that women don't really even see men as human. And what I mean by that is that they don't realize how deeply they can be hurt. They don't realize how deeply they feel. They really do. They grieve. When a man has a broken heart, trust me, there's a reason why men sing the love songs and the broken heart songs. Even modern music, women are singing about revenge and getting over him and all these other things, not longing, yearning, and always just loving that person till the day they die. This is not what happens. And no one seems to be noticing this. Society where feminism has just taken hold just believes that men are always ruthless and all they want is bedroom fun. That's all they want. It's all they're interested in. They never want to ever have children or a family. They have to be manipulated and twisted into that. None of that is true. So, men not sharing their feelings is something that women have a lot of opinions about, and they're sharing them all over the place. I want to hear what a real man has to say. By real man, I mean a man who is not, I don't think he's going to do it in such a way that's what a woman told him he should do, so to speak. But I'm very excited. And, any time to hear this man speak is good. I just think he's just wise. I think people who prioritize spending time in nature, you're going to find some wisdom there, probably. All right. Let's hear what he has to say.
Have you noticed how much noise there is in your life, in society in general? Constant noise everywhere. Social media provides noise constantly. And people, they seem to talk too much and they talk too fast. And they talk about nothing. If you care to join me here, up in my local woods, we're going to have a quiet conversation about our need for moments of quiet, stillness, peace, and stoicism. I want to talk about that in this video because it's been on my mind lately. I guess this is a cultural thing and it's also a generational thing. I'm Norwegian. also Gen X, and that combination, I guess, what you get is someone who will not express emotions too easily, especially negative emotions. We were brought up being told that you should try to contain yourself. And also, when I see people who get very angry, upset, and they shout and they, throw their arms around like this, and what I feel when I see that is that this is someone who is very immature, someone who has very little self-control. But what we're seeing now is that people have become totally, what's the word, unhinged, and they have no intention, no no intention of trying to contain themselves. They just react, and it's like they when they feel something, they feel they think that it's their right to tell the world and to not hold back. I
I think he's being very generous when he says people, and maybe that's how it is in Norway. And I know that he travels a bit also. When I 100% agree with him so far. It is the same here in the States. However, more often than not, those people that are acting unhinged and behaving as if they have a right to react however they feel, those people, by and large, are women. And it is my theory, I call it a theory, I feel very strongly about it, that the younger men who behave this way, because as Bjorn said, it is a generational thing. It is definitely more the younger men who behave this way. I tend to think that they were raised with not necessarily in fatherless homes, but with gynocentric parenting, where things were done the female way. It wasn't these are dad's rules and this is dad's way and this is how we're going to behave. And the idea of stoicism, because of that, is just I'm sure that falls under toxic masculinity, which is not a thing. So continue to learn from Bjorn. Oh, I didn't. When I'm tired, I make rhymes. I'm sorry. Not trying to sound like Dr. Seuss.
think that we need to get back to some level of stoicism. Now, to me, stoicism, it's a big thing, obviously. But to me, it's a toolbox, and it has helped me tremendously in my life. Now, stoicism is, of course, a philosophy, and I'm not going to get into that too much in this video. I just want to say that you don't have to feel everything, and you can postpone feelings if you think that that's useful. You don't have to feel everything all the time. It's okay.
Oh my goodness gracious. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? Just as a woman, on a personal note, this is such good advice. It's difficult as a woman because I do feel everything all the time. Like I actually do. Women do. We feel before we think. However, having that line in my head, you don't have to feel everything all the time, is a good thing for me to say in my mind to those feelings. When those feelings bubble up, Whether it's I'm angry about, somebody cut me off or something happened. I don't go out very often, so what could possibly happen in the physical therapy office? But if certain things happen that make me angry, I need to know that I don't have to feel that. I can tell it no. And I know that thanks to my father, who very much reminds me of this man in his speech and looks, everything. Uh, yeah, you don't. My father would have said you don't have to react, and he did say that. And he would often say, "Think before you speak," which was very helpful to me. Did I always do it? Growing up, no, but it was very good to learn that, you need to think before you speak, Erin, he would say. So, yeah, you don't have to feel it. I like that. Because often, and this is something else my dad would say to me, he would always say, never make a decision out of anger. Never make a decision when you're angry. And, to sleep on it. Wait until you don't feel that way anymore. And he was right, because often I didn't want to make whatever decision what I thought was the best one. So this is excellent advice for women. And I would say this is such great advice for men these days who weren't properly fathered. They weren't told these things and they probably never realized that they grew up with gynocentric parenting. They had no idea. They were like, well, no, my dad was home. My dad sometimes this, my dad. Yeah, but when you really look into it, you think, did your father tell you things like this? Because so many men were shortchanged in their youth because they did not have real fathering, real direction, real leadership to tell them this is what being a man is. For example, being told no one's coming to rescue you, no one's coming to save you. So often I hear from men, like, when they realized no one was coming to save them. And that's sad, because they should have been taught that, and they should have been strengthened. When you are, a victim of gynocentric parenting, you are protected too much, because motherly parenting is for the nest. Fatherly parenting is for after the nest, whether that's out into the world or to become a great wife. So the types of things that Bjorn says seem very valuable. I think that this is just me, just a woman, definitely don't just take the advice, but for what it's worth, seems much more valuable than, say, listening to a kickboxer who's basically just a glorious simp with a P in Romania. That'd be Andrew Tate. And this one seems to me to be much better as far as looking up to for understanding what it is to be a man. So, let's continue.
Need to take a break from that. Also, I think that the way we are living now, it's not natural for us. There is too much noise. We don't get enough of this quiet. We need these quiet places. We need quiet time. And we also need some stillness in our emotional life now and then. And if we never get that, we got emotional fatigue, as it is, I believe, called. So to protect yourself against all the noise, what you can do is, of course, to to log off the social media apps like Facebook and so on. But some people like myself, they, you know, we we have thrown away our smartphone. I did that more than 3 years ago, and it's one of the best things I've ever done for myself. But it's not for everyone. I get that. But we need to protect our peace. We need to protect the quiet. It is important that we have these moments of stillness and quiet in our lives. The sun is rising. It's going to be a beautiful day. Skål. I think that as men, we have male emotions, and in this time and age, we are told that we need to show some emotions. You know,
Who tells them that, though? Women say that. Where are the men telling the other men you need to show more emotion? It's women saying that to men. And like, why? Because they're trying to feminize them. They're trying, which weakens them. And they say it to little boys, that as if there's something wrong with them if they don't. Well, they're not little girls, are they? No. And I think that little boys, if you keep on asking, share your feelings, share your feelings, share your feelings, and they realize you're never letting up, I think they're going to start to manufacture what we need to say to mommy to make mommy happy. And you get these, very confused people growing up that have, I don't even know how real those emotions are when, you can't keep telling your 10-year-old, 12-year-old boy, tell me what's on your mind, tell me what you're thinking, da 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 da. They're not little girls. It's awful. You don't have the men telling the other men to share their feelings. It makes me mad, but I don't have to have that emotion right now.
but what happens is that when you do show your true emotions, well, no, it's that's not a good thing, because that was not the emotions that you were supposed to have.
Right.
But that's just how it is. We are, as men, not women. That's just how it is. It's obvious, right? Now, of course, men and women have the same emotions to many things. We can feel grief, love, and anxiety, and what have you. But also there is a difference. Men and women are not the same. I'm not suggesting that men should never talk about their feelings. I think it can be wise to talk about your feelings, but I do think it's also wise to make sure that the one who listens is a person who will not judge you, who will not shame you, that the person who listens is a person who actually listens. I have read that stoicism has been listed on, as one of the traits of toxic masculinity. It's very sad that they do that, because applying some stoicism is a good thing. It's a good.
Honestly, the people who would say that some stoicism, and again, like Bjorn said, I'm not talking about the philosophy, I'm talking about the trait of being stoic, of having stoicism, I mean, not reactive. You're going to be on an oil rig or, be a tree logger person or a roofer and have a lot of emotion. and be reactive to it. Just something that's easier for me to imagine. Imagine being a roofer and something has just angered you. Are you going to jump up and down and get all angry? No. It's a very dangerous job. Very dangerous job. You're not going to do that. You don't, you know what it is? Men don't have the luxury, and they haven't had the luxury over centuries of being able to just react to whatever they're feeling all the time. They have to maintain. Also, when they're leading a family, somebody's got to have it together. You know, somebody's got to be, and how are you going to be brave? All the things. Men have always had that stoicism because life requires it. It's only in this cushy age that people think that it's somehow okay or good to express all these emotions all the time. It's not. It's not even good for yourself. When you feed into all of that, sometimes you make those emotions worse. You know, we're into all this validating feelings. Got to validate all the feelings. No, you don't. Not all feelings need to be validated. Honestly, some are dumb. Some are. And some need to just settle down. Sometimes you're having a feeling because you're downright spoiled. And these are not generally coming from men. And when he talked about make sure it's not somebody who's judgmental, I know that a lot of you have expressed to me that if a man cries or shows real grief, the woman is out the door. That is awful. That should never be the case. Your woman, should be someone that you can be your most vulnerable with, because men do have vulnerabilities and they do need a person that is safe with. And so many men do not have that and have never had that, even with their own mothers. Even though those are the same women saying, well, share your emotions. It's like, it's a trap again, you know, because what are they going to do? Pick it apart, judge it, and tell you how you should feel. And it's awful. It's just terrible. And in some ways, it really needs to lead to even more stoicism, because there is no safe place for a man to truly let down his guard in that way. On the rare occurrences that that's appropriate.
Think to do that in your life. It will help you. I'm not saying that we're going to go 100% stoicism like the ancient Greeks, but it's not toxic. It's useful. Some kid has left his or her little hat. So if anyone watching this is missing this little woolen hat, let me know in the comments. I'll leave it here, or you can just come here and pick it up. I'll just leave it inside here. As usual, some people will misunderstand what I'm trying to say here on purpose. That's how it works these days. But 99% of you guys, you get what I'm saying here, and I think that yes, we should be honest about our emotions. We should communicate our emotions, but also we should apply some self-control. And I think that serves us well. We're not talking about men bottling up their emotions and all that. That's not what I'm talking about here. Some self-control is good, and honesty about our emotions at the same time. Even as men, we can do two things at the same time, actually.
Yeah.
It's going to be a warm day. It's summer. Norwegian summer.
I love when he says things like, the sun's coming up, and just pauses. Or just now, it's going to be a warm day. It's summer, Norwegian summer. There's something in that, just there, that I think I definitely can learn from. And I've been trying to implement this more, even before seeing the videos, but now I do it even more. Just taking pause and going, yes, these are good. These things are good, you know, and I'm noticing them. Now, modern psychology would say that's grounding, touch something around you, notice how it smells, blah, blah, blah. I don't think those people have a clue how to really ground yourself and in what, right? Truth. It's going to be a warm day. It's summertime. The sun's coming up. Very important to do that, especially in a world that is so crazy and so noisy, as he says. And you do notice that when you go over to a woman's house or with women, there's much more of a chance that the television is on, and it's crazier, it's more chaotic. I think that men instinctively understand the need for order more and peace. And hopefully, if they were raised with very strong gynocentric parenting, they've come to realize it and are, correcting that in their lives now. I think that has been the case for a lot of you. I've learned that from paying attention to you guys and what you've said in the comments and in your emails. And I'm trying to catch up. I really am to the emails. I get a little ahead and then I'm like, oh goodness, more have come in. It's a good thing. I really do appreciate it. But again, the women are more likely, it seems, to have this chaos around them, and to create it on the men and around the men. And I think hopefully men are realizing that they need to, on purpose, find the order in their lives, and in doing so, find the peace and the tranquility that they need to have a calm soul, because otherwise it's men are not created to operate in chaos 24/7. They're just not.
I'll just sit there for a while now, and I will finish my coffee. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for spending this time here with me, and leave a comment in the comment section if you want to. That would be wonderful. And if you liked the video, give it a like and all that. You can even consider subscribing. That would be wonderful. So that's all for now. Hope to see you in the next one. Cheers, skål, and have a wonderful day.
Wow. That view at the end with the sea. Oh, gorgeous. Just gorgeous. I'm very glad he puts those pieces of nature in between. Not all of us have access to a local woods. And even so many of you in the city, some cities like New York City, or goodness gracious, Los Angeles, you don't really ever see nature. I guess New York City, you have Central Park, which is not nothing. But I can't even imagine what it must look like now with all of the new immigration that we have here. I wonder what Norway's like with new immigration. But the woods looks quiet. I'm glad that he puts those pieces of nature in between, because, as I was saying, so many of you don't have that. So at the very least, seeing those scenes of nature can feed your soul, and you can maybe find some peace just seeing that nature through Bjorn's eyes. See it how he experiences it. I think that's powerful. I think too, if you're from a city and that's all you've ever known, nature is, maybe a little sort of unfamiliar. And so in that, I think seeing it through Bjorn's eyes is very helpful too. I am going to put his video, the link to his video, in the description. And please, if you haven't already, go to his channel, like this video on his channel, and subscribe to his channel, because it is wonderful. And I think there's so much to be gained from his wisdom. He's an author. He does a couple of different things. And even if one thing isn't your, vein of interest, you might be surprised how just listening is helpful, So I certainly appreciate it very much. And yeah, that was great. And I think that men definitely stop sharing their feelings because they know it's not safe to share. If they're darned if they do, and they're darned if they don't. If they share their feelings, then the feelings are wrong, and they're, God forbid, what if their feeling is that they're angry? Then that's going to be too scary, So it's not safe. Or if they cry, then, they might even lose their partner over there. They might lose their spouse if they cry. So yeah, they stop sharing, and then they stop sharing. And in times that are tough, they're more stoic. Oh, now it's toxic masculinity. It's crazy. And I am here in the States. He's in Norway. And we both thought the same thing about the toxic masculinity and being stoic thing. Yeah. Darned if you do and darned if you don't. So I would say you're better off if you just don't. It's like whatever you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. That's part of our rights in America, as far as, excuse me, little doggies are being very, very naughty. Very, very naughty. Oh, bless you. Goodness. Oh, we're having all kinds of issues. This is little Lola. She is definitely upset that she's not the center of attention. But whenever she distracts me, I am reminded to ask you to kindly to like the video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I'm petting her with one arm here to keep her happy so she doesn't, rip down the tripod or anything else. Anyways, she brings me a lot of joy, honestly, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for your all's cats and little doggies and big real dogs that you have. Like, it's good. That's good, right? To have somebody that loves you unconditionally. Or cats. And I mean, do they love you? I don't know. But, they're there. And they're affectionate, at least. So thank you guys. This was great. I always enjoy watching Bjorn's videos, and it's really, I feel so selfish because I definitely watch his video anyway, and be learning from it. And I just kind of drug you guys along for the ride. I think you guys enjoy him too, though. And I found out that so many of you already followed him. I'm like, hey, why don't you tell me? No, I'm just kidding. So remember that you don't have to have the feeling. You don't have to. You know, you can rise above it, and you certainly don't have to react to it. And if any of you were victims of gynocentric parenting, I am sorry, because we all need fathering. We all do. It's nothing against mothers, nothing against them. They have their role, and their role is for the nest. And fathers have their role, and their role is for how to prepare and be, because you're not always going to be in the nest. So thank you guys. I hope you are protecting your peace today. I hope that you've fed your soul. And I will see you guys on the next one. Love you. Bye.